Boy, do I love Trick or Bid. This game is a fantastic trick-taking game. This game uses a 52 card deck, but its deck and number distribution is kind of unique. So there will be 4 suits, and the suits each go from 0 to 9, but it's like 1 0, 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, 4 5 6 7 8, and 9. You're gonna see why that matters in a little bit. You're gonna be playing rounds up to the number of players, and you're going to be playing tricks. Now in this game, you have an interesting choice when you win a trick. You can either take the trick for potential scoring, or you can take one of the cards that your opponents played and place that face up beside you, saying that you are bidding that you're going to win that number of tricks this round. So it's a bidding game, but you don't set your bid at the beginning, you set it at a determined time by you throughout the game. Now, what's also interesting is that not only is your bidding kind of deterministic on when you want to take what you're going to bid, it's also really good to do it first, because if you're the first player to take a bid card, that's actually what's going to determine the trump suit, whatever suit that card that you grabbed is. And so that might play into your strategy as well with what your hand is. You can try to make sure that the suit that you have the most of is the trump suit. But remember, it's what the opponents play, not what you play. So you kind of have to force those cards out of them, then also plan what you're going to be bidding, then also be like, okay, perfect, now for the trump suit. This is very, very intriguing. The other thing that makes this intriguing is that if ever 2 of the same cards are played, so for example, you have a 1, an orange 1, and then somebody else plays an orange 1. In most games, there's a rule about first played or last played wins. However, in Trick or Bid, these cards literally cancel each other out. And even more interesting than that, the only thing that can win a trick is what is the lead suit or what is trump. So if 2 cards cancel each other out and somebody didn't play the trump suit, they just played another suit, then this trick, nobody wins it right now. You take the whole trick, you set it aside, then you play another trick, and then whoever wins that one will also get that set aside trick, and that could happen theoretically multiple times, which kind of builds up on the side there, and the suspense gets really crazy. Another thing about this game that gets kind of intense is that towards the end of the round, if you still haven't taken a bid, it gets pretty scary. So you really need to win a trick at some point, and earlier probably the better. That way you can score some points. Now, another thing that I appreciate about this game is that there are 2 kinds of scoring. Now, the first one is kind of a targeting scoring mechanic. So the closer you are to the target, you're going to get more points, and the further away, you're going to get less. So for example, if you hit your bid exactly, you get 3 points. If you're 1 off from your bid, above or below, then you're going to get 1 point. If you're neither of those things, you get 0 points. And if you didn't even take a bid card, you're going to get -1 point. The other way to score is that players will win 1 point for each trick that they win, and then they'll get 4 points extra if they hit their bid exactly. And this version actually kind of has a shoot for the moon, where if you bid 0, meaning some other player plays 0 and you won that trick, and you win 0 tricks, you get 7 points. So that version is also very cool and interesting. We played both, we've enjoyed both. That's basically Trick or Bid. It's such a simple premise. It changes a couple of key things, but it's really, really fun, and it's perfect for those spooky nights. You can kind of get into the vibe of trick-or-treating and play a trick-taking game with your friends and family. Now, all of these kids are obviously going to be knocking on doors, and one thing that I know is that it's kind of scary to have your kids knock on doors, especially unsupervised, because you never know what they're going to encounter. They might encounter a bloody inn, and that is going to be the game that we're going to talk about next. We are going from a game that is very, very cute to probably the darkest game out of this whole series. So why don't you check out the Bloody Inn right here. I'll see you there.